Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of my car stories. And yeah, I'm Tobi and I'm here with my guy, my co-host.
Segun. Welcome back, everyone. Yeah. It's been a minute.
And we're going to be talking about everything cars, what the backbones, our car stories, what we went through during the week, and every single thing that's happened during the week. And yeah, a lot more. So let's start. How was your week?
It was challenging. You know, we're in the rainy season now, and this is the time for steering rack sellers to
I'm telling you,
make some cool works. So it rained. I drove my car. I didn't enter any major flood, nothing, and I parked it. The next time I tried to start this car, my steering was locked hard. I said, God, I beg, what's this?
Damn.
I've never had this car for a year, and I'm already having steering rack issues. Which kind of village people problem is this? So
that your car, the steering rack would be very expensive.
So I called it, and they were like, for the brand new ones that they sell down here, which is not OEM from Lexus, but maybe aftermarket from like China or something, it was like 1.4 million.
Jesus.
I was already like, hey, this kind of time. Well, let's even troubleshoot. So I started running scans on the car, and I was seeing that it was a voltage thing. So some sort of voltage wasn't getting to the steering rack. So that meant there might be a short wire somewhere, or a fuse. Checked all the fuse, checked everything was intact. And there's a module under the battery. So we removed the battery, checked that module. Apparently, for some reason, that module was the one that was having issues. I don't know what caused it today, because I always like to look at cause, what actually caused it.
Yeah.
I don't know what caused it, but by the time we replaced that module, everything worked, and it worked fine. And I was just like, then go. Though it still chopped my money, because I still spent like 200k. But
I think
compared to
is
1 point something million, I would rather spend it. So I was spending 200k 2 times instead of that 1 point something.
I'm telling you, yeah.
But I mean, that solved the problem. So everybody just get up this rainy season, because a lot of steering racks have started going bad. I've started hearing things. I've seen people that are parking their cars to drive the other rugged car that doesn't have the steering rack issue. So
exactly. I think most cars that use electrical steering rack are the ones that always come up with those issues, because and those things are very expensive to replace.
So that mine is even cheap. You see different prices of steering racks, and you're wondering what's going on here. So I don't know how people want to do it, because we don't even have good drainage today. It's going to be flood from time to time. So once you see flood, don't enter. Let the water go down very well, just for your own safety, because if you enter it, you might not come out of it the same way. Your pockets will feel it, except maybe you don't mind changing steering rack all the time. And for me, it's not even the cost, it's the stress involved in business. For my car, for instance, is an all-wheel drive, so it means that the entire undercarriage or would have to come down to an extent. It's just a lot. And when you start doing all those things, it starts registering something in your head. So I was just like, nah, I'm not doing this. But I was lucky. So I hope other people get lucky too.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and for me, crazy shit.
What happened to your car?
My car almost caught little fire, but as in God, I know that God is on my side. So I mean, like, just like last week, I noticed that my car was making some certain noise, and I was a bit worried. Took it to a mechanic, because my mechanic was not around, and the mechanic guy checked and said, "Oh, it's my power steering pump that is bad." So I was like, okay, no wala, I will come and fix it. How much is it? He told me, okay, fine, no problem. I'll come back and fix it. So during the week, on Thursday, so I went to Lekki to Jack on this side in the night. I wanted to go and quickly pick someone up. So I was approaching the place. That's how the noise that was there was now different. I was like, which kind of noise is this one? So my brother was with me. I was like, how far you hear this noise? Put off the radio. I'm not like those people that will increase their radio. I put off my radio. I put my AC off so that I can let me hear it very well. And I wind down. And I was hearing it. I was like, this noise is different. Something is wrong. But luckily for me, I was getting close to where I was going to. So I'll just park along the side of the right side. Let me just get where I'm going to. In case if the car does not start, I can leave it in a safer place. So we got there, got into the estate. First thing I did was open the bonnet, smoke inside engine. Never happened before. So I put it off and I had to get my tools to remove the air intake, the filter part, so that I can see where that's because that is around that section. I wasn't sure. So I removed it. After removing it, then I put on the car. Make I just come check. The next thing I saw is smoke and fire. Small spark of fire just flying from alternator. I say, I just ran immediately, put off the car.
That's crazy.
Luckily for me, I'm thanking God I didn't buy the power steering pump because I would have just been pissed. Apparently, the noise was actually coming from the alternator. Because when...
Just be double.
Exactly, but got to replace the next day in the morning and everything was fine. Up until now, everything is fine and cool. So, I mean... Another thing that I was worried about, sorry to cut you here, is that just that time when I was leaving the house, that same day when it happened, I was telling my brother, I've been saying that I want to buy fire extinguisher. That the one in my car, I think it has expired. It has been there for like 2 years. That I need to buy another one. That I've been saying I'll buy it. So the end of the month will come. I'll forget again. That one I must buy. Then that happened.
Ask you that, do you have extinguisher in your car? Because a lot of people don't actually
exactly
in their cars, and sometimes safety is just key. You know, I keep saying it. We just have to be safe one way or the other. It's not me that I'm talking self. Don't let me expose myself, but road safety has even stopped me asking me, okay, where's your fire extinguisher? And I have to tell you that, okay, calm down. But it's a must have.
Yeah, actually.
Like some people actually have two in their cars. And I also feel like there are a lot of random ones out there that even when you even bring out, it doesn't help you. So you have to find a good quality one to buy. So that's one very key thing. You need to find a quality one to buy.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think it's and funny enough, it's actually cheap. It's not that expensive. Yeah, so I think it's best for someone to just have it. Because I know at least for the past last 4 months, I've seen a lot of people's car get on fire, especially on Tomi Bridge, and it's gone. And those cars are very expensive.
Even the Range Rover that belonged to this celeb, Dari, this Range Rover got burnt to ashes. And most times, always electrical issues, bad management, and sometimes it might not even be any of those things. It might just be a failing part, because you expect that somebody like that. I mean, if his mechanic tells him that something is this amount, he will say, okay, replace it. So it might not even be a money thing, it might not be a mechanic thing, it might just be a part failing.
Exactly,
and then happens, it just happens. So we just have to be also conscious of our cars. Listen to what the car is saying.
Exactly.
Because the moment you don't do that, it becomes a bigger problem.
Yeah, I mean, like, usually I would say, like what you said, just to buttress on it, I was just very lucky because if I didn't really pay attention, I don't pay attention to my car engine, and I can't tell the difference between my car engine and a different sound, I won't have been able to now. I'll just drive that car, get to where I'm going to, pick what I want to pick, and head back home. And then before you know it, fire on the road. But I mean, it's always just very important that everyone takes, actually pays attention to their cars when driving. Man, another thing again happened this week. Did you see the Burna Boy car that everybody has been shouting about? Sinner. I'm not sure.
And did you see the video of the actual owners of the car?
Yes, no.
And how they said they overpaid for the car?
Yes, no. I did.
Which is wild.
Very is wild. I think one of the things might actually be customs.
Yeah, customs is a fact. They might have flown the car by air into the country and all of that. And definitely customs. Though I feel like most times in this country we overpay for cars.
Yeah.
A lot of people overpay for cars. And for me, I even thought that car was brand new.
Yeah, actually, because they actually said it was brand new.
I wouldn't spend such on a used car. I'm sorry to say.
Yeah.
But he doesn't care. That money might be changed to him. He doesn't care. As far as he knows what he wants. So I think for him, the main thing is he knows what he likes and he goes for what he wants. Because you see him driving like I saw a video where he was driving like a Tesla Roadster, I think somewhere in London. So for this person to go and look for this car and be driving it, you know that he actually knows.
Yeah, actually.
If you look at him, he's a car enthusiast in his own way.
Actually, he is.
So he might just be all about fast cars, or you get. So definitely, there's something that I wanted, or there was a test that I wanted to satisfy with that car, because spending billions of naira and they find out that the car had like one owner. Was it one? Yeah,
it's just one.
It's just one owner. It's loud, but I mean,
well,
maybe that one owner has even drive the car up to 10 times.
Yeah. So the thing is, in my own opinion, I feel people that go for this kind of cars, like the Senna, the P1, there's the Porsche Spider, I think it's 928 or 918 Spider, there's Ferrari, all those big cars, the expensive cars, they're like the holy trinity cars. When we talk about those cars, people buy it because of investment. In my own opinion, because I've seen quite a number of people. In fact, there's this guy I watch online on YouTube, McCain or something. The guy actually sold a couple of his cars for him to get a P1 because he liked the P1 and it was a good investment. He sold his Rebelto that everybody's shouting about. He sold like one or two other cars. I know another guy told me too that he's also doing the same thing. So he's selling those cars.
Even Brenner, I think,
and Ipa,
two of his own cars, because definitely maybe because he has had the best of them. So, but the truth is, for him, if he wants to sell that car today, and he wants to make money, he wants to sell higher than what he got, he might have to export it. I don't think anybody's going to buy it from him higher than what he has spent on it. So I'm not sure of that. Except somebody that is also in love with that car.
That's it. That's what I'm trying to say, because you see a car that is 1 of 15. An Arab that is looking for that car has been looking for that car years. See, like 5-10 years. He sees that car.
That's what I'm telling you.
You'll be willing to pay for it.
If he's going to sell that car, he might not end up selling it in Nigeria. He might have to sell it to somebody that's going to export it.
Not
somebody that's taking it out of the country. It's only a few Nigerians that can say, okay, I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse. But in that which way is a good collection. It's a good car to have to add to the Nigerian car collection. That is, they don't have one in Ghana. They should not come from me, but I don't think they have one in Ghana right now.
No, I don't think there is one. Though they have, I think Ghana has a Bugatti Chiron.
But they don't have that carbon exposed. Because it's not just a regular.
It's like 1 of 15.
Yes,
you said. So.
It's something to be proud of if we are looking at it from that angle of Nigeria, Ghana, or Nigeria, Africa. I think in the African region, maybe that might be the only one. You never can tell. There might be one somewhere just locked up in some garage. But so far, the one that we know of in the African region is just that one. So it's a good thing.
When the video even came out, I and Alaji Mose got on the call and we were talking, and I was like, man, Burna Boy has to take care of that car. Because if it crashes like this, there's a guy, Matt Armstrong, might come and buy that car. And so I laughed. He said no, they won't allow you to come and buy it. So that all the mechanics in the whole of Nigeria, they will sell all their shops, put money together and buy that car and fix it, that it must still remain in Nigeria. And I was like, man,
Matt Armstrong is known for doing things like that. He doesn't mind coming to make you an offer you want.
Yes,
but I don't think he would really be able to put that car in his full potential, because number one, we don't have the roads. So chances of him crashing it is
very low.
Very, very low. Except maybe bad roads and all that kind of stuff. Nigeria will say happen to you, happen to the car, but definitely it won't be as bad as crashing and all of that. Because where is he even really speeding to?
Actually,
how many times in that time I never drive that car on Tobi Bridge, except maybe if he just wants to go for a joyride or something. So that's the thing. But back to the main thing. We are looking at EVs.
So
normal combustion engine cars.
I don't know about. I just noticed, especially this year, taking note of electric vehicle companies actually trying to break into the market.
They're trying really hard.
They are really, really hard. I even saw this BYD. I saw it at this. I think that's the Dolphin. The BYD Dolphin.
The car made it to Ijebu and made it back. I think on a single charge, which is impressive despite traffic, despite all other road conditions. It has 3 passengers in it. So the truth is, the electric vehicles are here to stay. And I keep telling people, some people say, oh, it's electric, is this? Yes, it's electric. It will have issues, but it is here to stay.
Yeah, actually.
Everybody's running away from fuel prices and all of that. And sometimes they tend to be cheaper than some kind cars that are around. And also, they have this whole nice modern aesthetic, this futuristic look and this feel. So people are like embracing them.
I mean, I would say for some of them, yes. Why some of them are very boring.
I agree with you.
Very boring interiors. Like,
For me personally, I don't care what you say. I don't care who you are. It's still a combustion engine till I die. I might buy an EV, maybe 1 or 2 down there, but bro, the sound of that engine is like music to the ears.
yes.
Do you know what it feels like when you've revved your engine, you've done some aggressive driving, and you roll down and can smell cars
Exactly.
breathing?
Oh,
I-
well, the same thing.
It's something to me. I don't know if people really feel it the way I feel it. But an EV doesn't give you that joy. I've been in a couple of Teslas. I've been driven in one and I've driven one, and trust me, yes, they are fast, extra smooth, but that wala that comes with that combustion engine, that ticket sound, that
when you are done, then
all those things it just gives joy, especially when you have a healthy combustion engine and a car that is sound.
Yeah.
I remember my ISF. There are times when I'm driving it and maybe I'm driving on airport road and then I'm already slowing down, but the engine is now slowing down. It does something where you now be hearing like it's just be revving a little bit and then going back to nobody. And I'm like, oh wow, that thing gives me joy. I like to hear it. I like to hear the sound of the exhaust. I like to hear the sound of the engine humming in my ear.
I agree.
So there are EVs that have speakers that give you all of that, but really, it's not those speakers. I want that actual sound.
The actual one.
It's that sound. Is that smell? That's joy. It just does something. I don't know what it is, but it does something.
I agree with you. I agree with you. But again, I don't know. Like, in as much as we're saying we like the combustion engine, I mean, both of us are speaking for ourselves. It's not like we're speaking for everyone.
For myself, not speaking for
anybody else. But at the same time, I've started noticing that a couple of people started embracing these electric cars. Like, for instance, now some celebrities, they have the Cybertruck. I feel that car is very ugly.
To stay.
In my own opinion,
it's ugly, but it's here to stay. Nigerians are back. There's one estate in somewhere in Lekki that I think like 5 or 6 back to back
had them
Cybertruck. So you see that thing is here to stay. No matter how ugly it becomes, they will just be buying it. Why? It's a show of wealth. Secondly, everyone just like that. Oh, Cybertruck. So Nigerians will buy it. You know how Nigerians are. The same way they bought Prado, bought the Destiny of Prado. That's why they'll buy those things as long as they can afford it. Because it puts them on some sort of, I have a Tesla and it's a Cybertruck, I'm a big boy, I'm this, I'm that. Some might not even drive it up to 10 times. That's the bad part. But they want to buy it. So, I mean, and the reason why the Cybertruck might survive and trend more in Nigeria is because of the height. So, all that situation of
the ground
flood, it's not like it's so high, but compared to other lower EVs, all the situation of flood, water will enter the battery because that's going to happen. Standard. A lot of them will have battery issues, will have water damage down here. You know how it gets when the rainy season is intense. So maybe they'll be packing it during rainy seasons and bringing them out.
I always felt that all these electric cars, they're always very sealed. I don't know. I really don't know, but
have you messed with water before?
That's the thing. Water can actually enter.
Water can enter anything.
I'm going to do my research.
It just takes time, but water is a force that when it's ready to enter, it finds its way in. If water can enter ships on the sea, why can't it enter your small sealed EV?
Because I'm going to check maybe Copart or just for flooded Cybertrucks or flooded electric cars. Because
you'll find. Yeah. And what you'll find is when we are referring to flood, the flood that I'm even referring to here is different from the flood that happened in the US. And those ones that we see the water level, they will mark it maybe right below the door handle or something. And I'm talking about just roadside flood, just water entering one fuse and shutting it. It will be difficult because I'm sure they would have put all those things in consideration. But I remember that most EVs, a couple of them have their batteries on the base of the vehicle.
Yeah, actually.
I mean, so that might be a reason why you have that whole flood situation. Like older EVs, or I say EVs, hybrids, because that's something I'm still coming to.
Yeah.
So
Well,
a combination of the combustion engine and the electric motor, it delivers mad power, mad output.
Yeah.
That one, I will take it anytime, any day. You see all those fast cars that have V8 engine and then have maybe 2 electric motors.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Bruh, that one is another thing entirely. That's another ball game entirely, because it's like extra horsepower, just like that. But those cars too definitely have their advantages and their disadvantages. The speed, the power is the advantage, but when it comes down to maintenance and issues, maybe water damage and all of that, and electrical issues, you need sound mind.
Yeah.
If not, you climb premium chairs.
Yeah, actually, I agree with you. What you just said. That's because, okay, like I spoke about Matapstra. I'm sure you have seen the video of his Revelto. There's a white Revelto where they've been trying to put it on and it hasn't come on because of the battery. He had an accident, and normally when accident happen on normal cars, the pyro fuse cuts.
Yeah, cuts.
And normally you're just meant to replace the pyro fuse. But for this particular Revelto, there's a pyro fuse in it. They replace it, but the car still believes that it's still crashed and it's not going to allow the hybrid component or whatever it is to come on. And because of that, they can't start the car. So later the car started, but the car will not move. It won't go into gear because what really rolls the car, because most of all these cars, it's that electrical system that actually makes the car come on. Then as it goes through, the engine takes over.
Yes.
So but that does not happen. So as a result of that, they've been on the car, and I think he has been panicking because the car has been losing value, which is like that.
So when it gets fixed, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
It just needs to figure it.
Yeah, so that's someone that is a mechanic. Imagine someone that is not a mechanic that owns that kind of car now, like an electric car that uses that and combustion engine or just actual electric car.
Enjoy it while it lasts now.
Exactly, that's a lot of money for you to put into it.
I just hope that those cars that are in Nigeria today that have these systems, I just hope that over time they would still be alive, because the cost of maintaining them will be high. The cost of getting a good person to fix it is another problem. I've seen cases where people fly in mechanics from the US or maybe the UK or Germany to come out. I've seen a lot of cases. But I also know some good mechanics in this country. Like people that when they are talking, you know that this guy knows what he's saying. And when you actually see them in action, the amount of money they've invested in tools, you know that, okay, this person knows what he's saying. But still, I think the ratio is still very, very limited. And that's why the whole EV thing sometimes is a major topic, because they are EVs, but they are not. A lot of people don't really know how to fix them yet. I can remember the last episode where I was telling you that how well can you get help? If you have an EV, you cannot just something cannot happen to you
on the road and
let one person come and you say, Baba, you will cry premium tears. There's nothing you can do. Like next to me, if I have an EV today, I don't mind buying that small. I pass my new generator and just putting it in the bins, just so that if the thing should quench somewhere,
you just plug
one gen and program, let it stop working. I'm just messing around because definitely you have to measure your range, know where you are going to and all of that. So it's a sweet thing to have. And my very first time entering a Tesla or an EV, the only EV that I entered is Tesla, and this is the Model Y. That one,
the one with the doors.
Yeah, the doors open. So I think I was in Dubai and I wanted to get a cab from the mall, and they're like, so I saw the black ones and I was like, what's going on? Let me enter this one. What's the difference? I think it was just maybe like $40 extra. Like, oh yeah, now driver would suit everything. As I got in, connected my phone to the Bluetooth, made some nice Olamide jam, went. I think I was even with a lady at the point. So it was just of us in the back. No, this was a while back, years ago. So I went to where I was going to. I even told the guy to wait to take me back to my hotel and all of that. It was fun. It was smooth. Then there was a particular time where I now went there again and my friend had one. Then I just had the opportunity to drive it. But because of all their driving laws and all those things, I just had to give myself brain. But what I'm saying is it's sweet to drive, and the driving is extra smooth because you don't hear all those humming sounds that come from your normal combustion engines and all of that. But there's just this something. I don't know what it is. There's just something that is not there. I need to figure it out. Maybe I need to play around them more. But when you see normal machine, engine, you know that, okay, this is something. This thing has the power. Though, even the way the Tesla was pushing, trust me, it pushed well.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But anytime, any day, I'll still pick the
Combustion engine.
Yeah. So, however you want to do it, just know that if you want to buy me a car today, priority is normal engine first. And then also the whole situation of fuel in the country, fuel prices going up.
That's what I was even going to ask. Now, do you think because of the fuel subsidy that was removed, maybe that's why these companies are actually penetrating Nigeria the way it is? Because that's just another angle if you want to look at it. Maybe they've seen that so people are complaining about the fuel price, so why not just,
You know that there are a lot of people in Nigeria that don't really care about things like fuel price. Like, they have a lot of money where what they do is they even just have like cards or one account and say, okay, this is for fuel, so they're not really bothered.
Yeah, I think that's personal, but I was even talking about like for fleets.
Okay, for my fleets,
yes.
Yeah.
Because I've been seeing a couple of little electric cars that they're using for fleet. I think even, God is Good Motors, their vehicles actually are electric cars. They're like electric vans rather, not cars. Yes. So that's what I'm saying. Most of all these companies are saying that there's a little bit of hack in it. And
well, fuel is not cheap. Neither is electricity cheap. So one way or the other, you're paying for something. Now, how durable are those vehicles? Because we know that if you're using an electrical vehicle for transport, is it very durable? I think it's only time that can tell, because it's a new thing that is going on.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens
in the long run
down the line in the next 2 years. Okay, a car that you bought this year, how is it going to perform within the next 5 years if it's an EV and if it's a petrol engine? So we need to wait and consider that. So it's only time that we'll be able to let us know that, okay, this is like, I see some vehicles and some people say, oh, this car is fine, it's lovely. I'm like, have you imagined what this car is going to be like or feel like in the next 5 years after rigorous wear and tear? It's like, no. And I'm like, yes. You see some cars on the road, oh, he has LED lights, I say, wait till the next 5 years. Can that LED light last for the next 10 years straight? Can that battery you're talking about, like, can it last? I know engines will last very long, especially when you maintain them well.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it's a battery. At the end of the day, batteries will die.
Yeah, batteries, usually, I think they even give...
You have to do some sort of maintenance, definitely. But I'm just saying, I'm not...
No, I agree with you.
I'm not trying to drag anybody, or I don't want anybody to come and drag me. What I'm saying is, now you're seeing this car is new. What happens to it in the next 5 years on Nigerian roads, Nigerian factors, Nigerian conditions, Nigerian mechanics? What's going to happen to you?
Yeah. Is it that mechanics will have to start learning about electrical?
They are learning, and there's what we call workshop manuals. There's YouTube, there's Google. In fact, there's AI. There are different platforms, so they will learn, they will adapt. But the vehicles themselves, how are they going to really last? Are they going to stand the test of time in Nigeria?
I mean, I agree with you, and there's a point, as you were talking about what you were saying, I saw another point of view, like a perspective, like I just saw, and what I saw was that today, or at least for the last 5-6 years, when you look at people buying cars, they buy cars that are almost like 10 years, 20 years in between. And those cars, when they come to Nigeria, when you buy them, like you buy a Camry, 2008 Camry, Mozu, once you pull up in your street, your boy self go, you see, hey, oh, my guy don't arrive. I mean, and that car will still last that same guy another 3, 4, 5 years. Then when it's done, he sells it to another person, then another 3, 4, 5 years. And before you know it, that car is already like, 20 years old. And the car is still moving. Probably, okay, maybe they just changed the engine once, or maybe they didn't even change the engine. Like, for instance, my car is 2007 car. And that's like, give or take, 18 years.
Yes, 18 years.
Do you understand? 18 years. And my car is still solid. It didn't move, it didn't throw. Most mechanic, whenever they come near my car, they say, this is your engine. Say, I did very lucky. They can't believe that my engine is this clean. is this,
Lane
is that.
assist.
So the thing now is, like you said, when you now talk about electric cars, there's one thing I know about electric cars. It gets to a particular stage where that battery, whether you like it or not, you have to change it. And changing batteries are very expensive. According to what I think it's like the lowest is $22,000 to like $20,000.
So that brings me to my point. Yeah, even the normal Camrys, the normal hybrid Camry, Prius, and all those things, whenever they have battery issues, most times their owners abandon them. I'll give you a first-hand experience where my friend has this Camry 07 hybrid, lovely car. She told me that she buys, whenever she fills up her tank, sometimes it lasts her a month. Lovely leather seats, premium sound. Even you look, and the car was white on grey interior. Sweet car. But problem is she now started having a problem of battery. So the first time this happened, exchange rates were still normal, and I think the battery was like $2,000. So she bought a brand new battery from the US and installed it, and it's fine. That was years back. Maybe $2,000 that been like maybe $300,000 or something. I can't remember. Just something cheap. Something cheap, but like it wasn't wild.
Yeah. Okay.
Now the car now has that same battery issue again. So we're like, okay, let's just buy a brand new battery again and let it last for like another 5-6 years, right? Now we're trying to buy the battery, and the battery is like $3,000. Brand new. And it was not even available in so many places because it was an old vehicle. Now, $3,000, you're looking at $3,000 exclusive of shipping, exclusive of tax, on a car that someone that is selling the normal one Nigerian used does not make sense. So eventually she had to opt for a used one in Nigeria that was Tokumbo. She bought it, I think maybe like $900,000, and her car is working. Okay, battery has finally come now, but the petrol engine was not starting because all that time that the car was in the mechanic shop, the gearbox too packed up. And if the gearbox packs up, the petrol engine will not work. And where hybrids are, both systems depend on each other. So it was just a mess. She now had to buy another gearbox, I think like another $600,000, which is fine because a normal Camry gearbox is like 1.2, but because it was hybrid, it was like $600,000. So all I'm saying is, all these things come to play. That's just normal hybrid. So now look at the Teslas, the BYDs. Now it's sweet to buy, and I've seen a lot of them on Copart. But now I look at their mileage is high. It tells you one thing: if you go and buy that car, you might not really enjoy it before that battery will pack up. And the minute that battery packs up, you might end up spending almost the same value for the car.
Exactly.
So how do you want to do it? How do you want to reconcile that? Because these batteries don't come cheap. They are not cheap. Yes, even inverter batteries that we use in our houses are not cheap.
Are not cheap.
Even normal car batteries. I remember when car battery was 14,000 naira. Now you're earning 70K, 80K. And trust me, that's not like the highest of the highest.
Yeah.
So when those EVs start flooding the market down here, and there are a lot of used ones, our normal Copart level, salvage, and all of that, when they start flooding the market, is there a separate market that imports batteries or something?
Yeah.
Because that would be our major challenge, because batteries will pack up. I know Nigerians, we use something till it dies. So it might even just be the unhealthy usage that will quickly make some people's batteries die. But I've seen people that have bought cars for like $2,000 in Copart or IAI, and then when they bring them down after clear, they'll now find out battery is bad, and they'll tell them batteries are 18K or 16K. You don't have that money.
You don't have that, yeah, exactly.
I know Nigeria will also try and find a way again. Then you'll see some people try and say, okay, we go come out one cell. Now one cell bad, we go do this one. Baba. You just might burn your car. I don't know. It might work and it might not work. But one thing I know about Nigerians is we are good with experimenting.
Yeah, actually.
So at some point they might get it right, but they don't get it right, your car will burn. So. And
on my electric cars, when they burn, they find it difficult to even put them on. I think because they use lithium batteries.
Yeah, because that water that you are using to kill the fire is going to keep disturbing it's still going to make the thing keep igniting. So I think there are different kinds of methods to turn off different kinds of fire. So if you're trying to turn off an electrical fire, I think you don't use water.
Yeah, we don't use water.
And if you're trying to use like a normal fire, I think you use water and something. So I guess we need to even look into that. Those that have these EVs, are they meant to use normal fire extinguishers in case of an emergency? Or
that's our other thing.
So we need to sit down one day and actually analyze these things. But don't get me wrong, I love EVs, but I love combustion engines more. And will I ever own an EV? Yes, I will. Maybe a Blade, maybe, but I will own an EV. But I also own my normal petrol engines because I love the smell of burning gas and the rattling sound of the engine, especially when the car is fast. So trust me, I'm going to want to. But priority is the combustion engine.
Another thing again is actually the infrastructures. Like for instance now, the whole of Nigeria now, there's no place, even when you are traveling, when you go at least as far as you can go, you still see a gas station. Just in Lagos here that we're talking about, I don't, the only place I can actually tell you that I know that actually provides that is at Adeola Odeku. Aside from there, I don't know any other.
Buy a generator and put it at your boot. You see off, you charge it. It's not that.
So, I mean, is it that well?
Small generators that you can buy, 100k, 200k. You put it at your boot and you'll be fine.
I mean, that's actually.
That's madness, though. Don't
Yes,
I'm just like messing around. Infrastructure is very, very key.
Yes,
limited.
There might be people that might be even thinking about that idea like as a business and they want to go into it. Well, all the best to that.
They're very creative.
But that's the thing. So, I mean, that's the thing. Because, like I said, when I spoke about most of the companies that have been buying these electric cars, because I even saw there's one, the company name is Wooling.
Yeah.
Is it Wooling or Wheeling? Something like that, sure. But their vehicles are very small. I think the smallest range is like 16 million or so. Which again, yes, I'm going to get to that. When you look at electric cars today and you want to buy these electric cars in Nigeria, for someone that is, just earning decent amount of money, like, managing himself, he's staying in a rented apartment, then he wants to buy an electric car. I mean, that's a lot of money I don't know if they actually do the instrumental payment stuff. I don't know how they do it, but I mean, it's killing. It's crazy if someone have to spend like close to 20-30 million because he wants to just buy just an okay electric car.
I don't know if that Wooling is the same one. There's one that I think Kopada Chief Priest was marketing sometime ago. He has affiliation with. I think I've even seen videos of it in his house and all of that. And I've noticed that sometimes now they started using those cars as cabs down here in Lagos. And I know that those things are still not cheap.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
Because exchange rate and customs duty, but how well would they last? How long would they last is my problem. And I know that I've not really seen like charging stations around for them. So is it that the drivers just have to go and charge in the morning, and when the thing is going down, he has to plan and say, my battery is on so this is what to take me to my house. Then it dies for the day. I'm not sure how the dynamics around that works, but it will be good to understand it because I don't see charging stations anywhere. So does that mean once I charge in my house in the morning, and I know that my battery is going to be a range of 10 miles that will take me home. Once I'm on 10 miles left, I should be finding my way home from wherever I am because or what exactly is going to happen. I really want to know that part really because I know that I don't really see charging points around.
Actually, I think if the person is just driving within Lagos, I think they should be fine for the entire day because most of all these electric cars, I know they charge up to like 200 miles. Even if it's not up to 200, like 150.
What if it's those days that there's premium traffic in Lagos?
Yeah, so that's the thing. I think
where you can move. What's going to happen?
Like petrol now, if you are on standstill and you're just moving and it takes like 3-4 hours, you're burning your fuel. I can't really tell. That's something I think I'll have to even find out.
Fair enough.
Like, I can't really tell if the electric is also, wearing off as you get on standstill.
You know that today now, if you are running out of fuel on the road, you can see call somebody to bring fuel for you. But is it power bank you tell them to go? No, really. Let's look at it from now. What are you going to do? Or is it generator? Help me bring generator. Let me charge my car. What are you going to do if an emergency like that happens? Maybe all those times that they say the president came to Nigeria, to Lagos, and there's traffic, they block some road, and you're just there under the hot sun. How about you go run AC now?
Yeah.
Come you sweat. You know that there's AC, you run it. But then, how do you recharge? Let's say you are in Ikeja and they block the road from Ikeja to the island because the president's we are waiting for the president to land, and then the president takes forever to land, and you're just there, you can't move forward, you can't move backwards, and you're running this, you're seeing the range going down, and the range might never even be able to get you to VI. What happens? You get a flatbed truck on the spot. So those are the major challenges that these things will have. But I know one thing is, no matter how stubborn those challenges are, Nigerians always find their way to solve problems. Exactly. One person will just invest and say, okay, I want to scatter this all over the place. Nigerians will find their way. Or they would, whoever owns those vehicles, know that, okay, this is what's happening. I'll park my vehicle, I'll come and carry it tomorrow or something. So let's get something right. They are here to stay, and the challenges are also here to stay. But the solutions to tackle it will come someday. But they are not visible yet.
Yeah, I mean, just thinking of it now, will I really still want to go for an electric car or just prefer an hybrid? I think I'll still prefer an hybrid.
Don't get something wrong. At least from my experience with hybrid, if your battery is not good, you're not going anywhere.
Actually, that's
you're not going anywhere. If your fuel pump in your hybrid car is not good, it doesn't mean that the electric system will carry you for long too. Remember that. So you are still in the same ball game entirely. Just that you have an edge over the totally 100% electric car. But just know that you see that hybrid. I don't know if they've changed the technology now, but I've seen cases where somebody is using a Prius. I know that time I used to be around. There used to be a couple of them in the workshop where I used to hang out, and you'll be like, okay, if the hybrid system is not working, sure, the engine is working now. Can't one be working instead? Those things work together. Like, they are so integrated that if one is having an issue, at some point the car will off on the road. It's that wild. Because how do you want to do it? Because it's the electric motor that starts the engine. So if the hybrid system is bad, the electric motor will not start the engine. Even the compressor will not work because the compressor is electric. It doesn't use a belt. So it doesn't use a kickstarter. So those are the challenges. So if the hybrid system is bad, most likely the petrol engine is not going to start, because you can't start the petrol engine separately. So you find yourself stuck. So don't be too happy when you say, oh, you want a hybrid. It doesn't really work that way. Maybe it's now that there are electric motors on maybe different parts that maybe they can work independently. I don't know. I've not really gone into that research. But from the old school 07, 08, 010 hybrid that I know, that I've showed people premium shaggy. You see those ones? I know that they don't work independently. They work hand in hand. 100%.
I think that's I think up until now it's still the same thing. Yeah, it's still the same thing. They still work together. Like, they are not. You can't separate it. So it has to actually work together. I mean, I would still like to do my research on all these electric cars. I won't lie to you, because I want to know, like, I just want to know how these things, like, stocking node up, how it works, the range and all of that.
I think the best way is to drive it for like a week. Yeah. Then also we can get somebody on the show that
actually that knows about it,
so you can enlighten us, because what we see on YouTube and online might not do justice.
Exactly.
First-hand experience.
Exactly. Like someone that is in this Lagos that is experienced, let us know. So that we can also enlighten people and also find out if truly this thing people should start embracing it or more. But I don't think even if people start embracing the next 10-15 years, I will still prefer combustion engine, because I mean,
combustion engine till I die.
Like, it's so bad, it's so crazy for me how sometimes driving an automatic, sometimes we'll just be like, you know what, I'm driving manual today.
So manual has the best entirely. So for manual, I love it on free roads. You know, there's just something about when you downshift. When you go from gear 4 and you take it back to 3, and then you go back again to 4, there's all that going on. The automatic will not really do that for you. Though I know that they've made some automatics that are very, very intelligent these days. But manual will always be manual. It will be sweet. But you don't want to drive a manual in Lagos traffic. Wow, you go tire.
That's another thing that electric cars miss too.
Yeah.
That is missing in most of all electric cars. I'm switching of the gear. I mean, if you can play with that and it's giving you that sound,
Yeah, so that's the thing. There's this Koenigsegg that they just released, bruh. I saw the video of that thing, and I watched it like 10 times. Where it doesn't even have a gearbox, and I forget how they call it. Then it just goes, and I'm like, I think it goes 0 to 250 in like maybe 0.5 seconds or something wild. I'm not sure about the specifics, but I know that particular car was just wild, and I wonder how they did it. I've not taken my time to dig deep to study.
Remember?
I think it's the Regera.
I think he's one of the old ones that they did. They just
revamped it. So I need to go. I saw that on Instagram. I'm like, wow, are you serious?
Yeah,
this is something.
I remember that video. He actually had a manual and automatic. So he had a manual 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then he had the reverse. Then he had the drive. But to get to all that, you have to press the clutch, press the gear in. And I watched the video. I was just like, man, this is very, very impressive. Like,
I think
very, very impressive.
I need to do some research on that particular vehicle again. But EVs are here to stay. Everybody should know that one and know it well. And then I saw this video of one crash where a G-Wagon and a Cybertruck crashed each other. I think it was the Cybertruck that bashed the G-Wagon from the side, quarter panel side or something. And I was like, this is battle of the Titans, I would like call it, because it's two big boys in both worlds. So it was a clash of both worlds where EV versus combustion engine. What's going on here? I don't know how to resolve that issue. I just saw a picture of it and I don't know what happened.
Even with the metal self, did you see the metal that
his metal it's dead.
The Cybertruck is bulletproof, is this, is that, is armored and all of that.
But I don't even know, Seth, that whole bulletproof thing that you're talking of. How what's the level of bulletproof that it has? ZAB7, ZAB6, what is it exactly? So we don't even know what we are dealing with before people just gonna start buying them bulletproof, and then there'll be some kind of guns that will just enter and come out from the other side. So you all need to know what you are buying before you say, start shouting it's bulletproof, because there is levels to this bulletproof thing as well. So that's the thing. And then one thing I know is most bulletproof vehicles have the normal shell as a normal car. Is what is embedded inside it that makes it bulletproof. So today you can see a normal G-Wagon or maybe a normal LX 600 and they say it's bulletproof. The panel, if you bash it, it will hit. But inside those door panels, there is actually another thick metal coating that covers the tank, that covers the battery, that covers everywhere. Even in between the dashboard, there's something there. Because I've seen where they've made a bulletproof car before, somewhere in Dubai. I've seen one. I've been there in cars. And I've also seen where in Nigeria, a politician had the Avalon, where I think he wanted to give to somebody. But for some reason, they had to convert it from bulletproof to non-bulletproof. It's a lot of work. The weight of the glass alone is something.
Yeah, the glass as thick as this.
And that Avalon never used to move. Like it was very slow. By the time they took all those load off it, it was something else entirely. Though it cost a fortune doing it too. Not like a fortune like that, but I mean, I think they spent about 4 or 5 million because you had to buy everything that was already cut and that, change the doors, change the windscreen, change the suspension and all of that. So for me, this whole thing of bulletproof, Tesla and all of that, everybody just needs to know the kind of enemy that they are protecting themselves from, because you'll be shocked though. You'll be shocked. And that bulletproof doesn't mean that you will not get a dent. People also need to know that. Because they say something is bulletproof doesn't mean that if they bash you, it's not dent. It will dent. So I think that's the case of that was what happened when people were talking about that G-Wagon. As the Tesla not bulletproof. Papa, your bulletproof still needs panel beater to be fooled. You still need panel beater. So I believe that's how you see it here.
Yeah, I mean, so I was even joking and saying that about that accident, and now that has happened, that is person going to fix it. Is he going to go to a welder and they will just weld one iron to it or what?
No, I believe that every car has a panel. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if he wants the best result, it might be to remove that particular panel. And so, worst case, he might have to contact Tesla and all of that. But that might be the best way. I'm sure he will find panels everywhere. Because for him, it should be maybe the fender and maybe the lights that will be damaged. And maybe the bumper, which can be replaced. Just by whatever it is that is replaced. But if you go to a panometer, what does the panometer really want to do? Because there's a way they are bodies. I don't know. Well,
Mm.
but luckily for that particular person, he has rap. So maybe if he goes to
yeah.
a panel beater, they can do some magic. They maybe put body filler, then they wrap it back. I don't know. I'm just saying whatever. But I know that it could be fixed because it's not a major accident.
I mean, I don't know. In comment section, I was seeing some people saying maybe it was Burna Boy's cars, but I don't know how far true it is.
I think he has one. Like,
Yeah, because he has one with that same color, but I don't know if it is one. Like, you know, people always talk.
And people are buying those things by the day, so you never know who owns what.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, man. And anyway, can't wait to get someone that knows more about this EV on the podcast so that we can really dive into it. And even as in,
let them drag you. Please don't drag me. Drag this man.
there's no problem. I'm here for dragging.
Because that last video I was talking about Lexus and Benz.
People are dragging you out.
Really ready to drag my destiny. And I told them I love both brands. I'm just saying what it is at the end of the day. So for me, I just believe it. Say what it is. Because you like something doesn't mean it doesn't have its faults and all of that. So that's where I stand. I love anything that moves on wheels. I love it. So please don't drag.
Voila. Anyway, as we're wrapping up, I guess we'll just tell everyone, just a reminder again, make sure you get fire extinguisher in your cars. If it has been there for 2 years, just replace it. It's very cheap, 5-10k. It's better than for you to lose millions. Also, aside from that, this rainy season, if you know your cars use electric steering, just, run away.
Avoid what?
Park it. Park your Benz, park your Beamer, park your Lexus, whichever it is that has water electrical components. Just park it.
You might even be able to afford the steering rack. It might be changed to you. But the question is, do you really want to be going and fixing that? That's the question. So if you can park it. Or once you just be conscious, if you see that a place is flooded and it's going to get to your rack, park, let the water go down, or find an alternative route, or park the car somewhere, use an Uber to go to where you are going to, and when you are done, go and pick your car. Because remember, that meeting you are going for, the people that you are going to meet in the meeting, they might not see your car at all because you are going inside somewhere. But what's the point of the steering arm being stiff at just the expense of when you could have taken an Uber that will save you 10k, that will cost you 10k rather, and you save yourself millions, you save yourself stress. And sometimes they will tell you there's no brand new one available in Nigeria, so they want Tokumbo. They'll give you Tokumbo.
Baba, you can change like 4-5 Tokumbo before you
even we did know recently for a 2018 Camry where we bought the locally sold new one, and after getting it, the steering rack was making noise after installing it, so I had to have them remove it and then bring another one. So you can imagine that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, that's stress.
That's stress. So I mean, one just needs to be careful with these things. So take care of your Benz and your Range Rover and your Lexus and your Beamer very well this rainy season.
Yeah, exactly.
Safe. Also, go to your mechanics. Have them check for the hoses that enter those steerings to see that they are very, very well tightened and very, very well clipped, just to save yourself some money.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. I think there are even some cars too that also have this drainage. Or I think most cars, not all most cars, but I think cars that have the roof.
Yeah, your roof water. You have to check it as well.
The drainage, because if it's blocked, then the water goes into the cars.
Yeah, you'll be seeing water in your car. For people that drive cars that have modules on the base of the car, it's also going to damage things. So this stops you from going to your panel beater and having them maybe use like a thin metal to and pour water there and see that the water is actually coming out by your fender.
Yeah.
But if the water is not coming out by your fender, you might have it flooding in your car soon. And it's just going to happen overnight. So you need to be concerned about those things and then watch out for it. Avoid any form of any electrical component in your car that water can get into. Just safeguard it as much as you can safeguard it to be safe. That's my advice.
All right. So thank you, everyone. Thanks for staying on it. Thanks for, make sure you comment, you like, you subscribe. Let us know what you think about AV cars.
Follow.
If you own one now, make sure you comment. Let us know your experience, everything. And if you don't own one and you have a friend that owns one, let us know. If you prefer combustion engine, let us know. If you prefer EV, let us know. We want to know.
And if you have an EV, don't be ashamed to tell us too that you want to go back to combustion engine.
Yeah, so
we'll gladly take you back. Don't worry about it. So
right.
Nice for everyone listening. Thank you once again.
All right, that's a wrap.